Hi, Katrina here with SMB ROI. And if you can spare 5 minutes, I can show you how to easily double your profit without spending any additional money. I have over 2 decades working in the HR tech, SaaS, and services industry to help small startups to grow into the enterprise market. So I've worked with dozens of companies in that market and helped them to grow quickly. And now I bring that expertise to small and medium businesses in the services industry, and I help them grow their profit and grow their business. I also happen to be the co-owner or former owner of a couple of construction businesses actually, one being a local lumber processing company here in Maine. I do concentrate mostly on helping SMB owners that work in the B2B services space and have less than 100 employees. So that's kind of where I feel that I could be of the most benefit and where I can make a big difference for those particular business owners. How I do that is we take a step back, analyze each individual business, figure out where you are, where you're trying to be, and where the low hanging fruits are in your business to increase your profit. Once we have a discussion on that, we can create a customized plan specific to your particular business, and we create a project and timeline that we can work on together, and we can implement that plan together. Business owners that I usually work with are struggling because they don't have enough time to do anything more than they're already doing. They don't have the resources to help them, so they don't have anybody to delegate anything to. And oftentimes they are chasing revenue and not really taking the time to figure out whether that revenue or that new deal or that new client is actually going to be a profitable new deal for them. So they're chasing revenue instead of profit. And oftentimes, they say what revenue feeds your ego, but profit feeds your family. Business owners that I work with are usually, again, chasing revenue, not profit. They are discounting and they're engaging the wrong targets. So, what I can help them do is figure out where their best market is, where they stand out from the competition, how to increase their profit, and making little changes can compound into big things, and how to stop discounting, and also where they can even increase their prices in some cases without losing any customers. Because the owners that I work with are so busy working in their business, they don't have any time to work on their business. And they don't have the time to take a step back and figure out what's working, what's not. And so they just get stuck in the hamster wheel. They could be more profitable if they just implemented a couple of small changes that actually create huge impact on their business. But a lot of times they don't know, they don't have the time, so they can't take the time to figure out what those things are. And a lot of times they don't know which deals are more profitable, which businesses suit their business best, and which ones work best for them. I generally cover a lot of areas, but this is kind of a breakdown of the highlights. So we figure out how you can dominate in a particular market and how to create compelling offers that appeal to that market, and who else can refer business to you in that market. We also help you figure out what some small changes, cost cutting, stop discounting, and increasing your prices, how we can use those aspects to really take a big increase in your profitability. And then we look at all of these things together. We figure out which ones make the most sense to do first, which order we should do these in, and then we customize that whole project plan and timeline for your particular business and needs and where the low-hanging fruits are again. Why is this important right now to you or to anybody? The things we used to do a long time ago, or even most recently, are not working anymore. So spending more time, energy, and resources on doing more of that stuff that's not working anymore is not going to help you. And owners are struggling to keep their head above water, especially since COVID. And they can't seem to get traction with their ideal prospects if they know who their ideal prospects are. They are not able to differentiate themselves in the market. or identify the market where they would be naturally differentiated. They don't have the staff that they need to help them implement any extra activities outside of what they're doing. And they don't have time to do everything themselves. They are up to their eyeballs in elephants, no more time to do any new fancy stuff. And they don't have a budget generally to fund the growth that they need to grow and to continue to be happy in their business and work more efficiently. So here's a good example of how I helped a painting contractor, increase their business 300%. First thing we did is we made some small changes that made huge differences. And my favorite areas are always usually market dominating position. How can you cut costs? How can you find the right joint ventures and go to market partners? And how can you increase your prices to that ideal market without losing any customers or any sleep? This particular case study, I was brought in to grow the company, which is usually what happened with all of the startups that I work for. They were either making um, a new product that they were launching to an existing client, they were going into a brand new market, or they were trying to just expand very quickly. This particular company wanted me to help them grow. They were an interior and exterior painting contractor who did mostly residential work, a little bit of commercial. They were limited on growth because they had a team of 2 people and they couldn't afford to hire anybody because they didn't have steady enough workflow. And so then if they did get a little bit bigger job, they really didn't make any profit off of bringing other people in because they would just bring in another group that was responsible for their own additional work. Basically, they took any job that became available to them. They had no real target market or specialty. And they also didn't know which projects were profitable and which ones weren't because they didn't track anything. So, and that was all again time. They were too busy chasing down the next deal, chasing down the next project, and didn't have time to step back and see what was really going on in their business. I don't know if you're aware of this, but a market dominating position has been shown to increase your revenue by 25 to 75%. So, what we did is we first went and took a look at how they can differentiate themselves and dominate in a particular market. And this is so they could pursue more lucrative and profitable commercial businesses. What these clients valued in the commercial space was priority service, weekend work, after hours work, and a higher level of liability insurance than you typically carry as a painting contractor. What we did is we first worked to have the owner contact a few commercial hotel owners in the area and a couple heads of maintenance at some of the manufacturing facilities in the area to find out exactly what they value when they're making vendor decisions. And then they also asked them, how do you go about the process? Like, how do I go to become a preferred vendor with your particular organization? This helped them form up a market dominating position by fulfilling those needs. And through the survey process, they actually landed their first pretty substantial commercial contract. And that very lucrative contract actually more than tripled their business and continued to feed them for an additional 4 years until that actual customer was sold. This big advance in profit cost them in whole $500 a year in extra liability insurance and 30 phone calls being made over the course of a 30-day period. And I think pretty much anybody can make time for that. We also talked to them about alliances. Now, after the success of this initial agreement and the other commercial contractors that they began to work around and with, they got more referral work. And they created sort of a little network of electricians, commercial flooring contractors, and actually a hazmat remediation company that all worked together and referred business back and forth. This, of course, led to additional commercial contracts. And they were also referred in from the main location they originally started working at to other location that the same company owned, who owned their original contract, which was pretty cool. Cost cutting. So because of the increased volume, they were actually allowed, or it enabled them to get higher volume discounts on their products and supplies. They were able to negotiate some painting supplies down to actual wholesale prices with some of their clients, and many of the costs were cut between 10 and 20%. In addition, they oftentimes had some leftover paint the commercial people didn't want, and they could use that for their residential jobs when they came about, or even other commercial jobs. Another thing they did through this process is they were able to increase their prices by 150%, not only for their own man hours that they were working, but also for the other workers that they were able to bring on, because they were able to attract better contracted workers to help them on the bigger jobs, because there was more steady work and so forth. So this allowed them to increase their prices by 150% for the weekend work and the after hours work. It allowed them to, again, recruit people very easily. The owner was able to dedicate his time to the high value, high profit clients. And now we knew who those were because we were tracking it. And it also left him more time to work on growing his business and not so much of the hamster wheel action, again, where he's just, grabbing everything that came his way. This is just a sample of one of the reports that we pull up when we're looking at a new company to see where the money is and how we can maybe set out that first 90 days. This is a commercial contractor. And this next one, this is a local manufacturer here in Maine. This is the summary page on their analysis that we did, the first hour analysis, to look at what the first 90 days would look like. The objective of our profit acceleration summary is to kind of show what we can do for you, and it's to develop the full process is to develop a rock solid, results oriented roadmap where you can track the revenue and profits that are affected by the different changes that you make. And the wonderful thing is that you only have to do these changes once and they will pay off forever. And in the long term, they just compound and compound. So you do the work once and it pays you forever, like I said. There's a lot to gain out there, and these are some other charts that are available in the reporting in the back office that you do get. And what we do offer is the weekly expert personalized coaching one-on-one, and a back office, of course, like I said, to track your data and your metrics, access to all the business spreadsheets and forms, e-classes. We've got internet training videos if you're interested in those. We have pre-built sales letters, profitable headlines that have worked for others. We actually have pre-packaged digital marketing packages that come with this at no additional cost for most of the industries that I speak to and work with, and proven marketing material strategies, like I said, business training tips. I have software tips and tricks, just so much more to help you grow your business in a very efficient and cost-effective manner. So our ideal customer is typically, doesn't matter if they're blue collar or white collar. It can be virtual or brick and mortar. And although each owner's motivations for wanting to become more profitable or for growing their business or changing, that the reasons can be different, but they all have the same struggles. So they are, struggling to be profitable. They don't have any more time to spare. They don't have the budget to make big changes or throw more, good money in after bad for the new marketing, whatever it is. And they are hungry for growth and open to change. So if you want to talk further, you can click the link below, grab 5 to 15 minutes on my calendar, and I can show you how to make a couple simple changes that will double your profit without any additional money. And then if you're interested in continuing the conversation, the next step from there, if you so desire, is the 1-hour assessment. Again, with our one-on-one coaching clients, we do offer a guarantee of success. And so make sure to ask me about that as well. I look forward to hearing more about your business and your needs. Talk to you soon. Bye.